All right, Shalom. Want to give all praises to Yahawah, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the apostles and elders of GreatMillStone. Salutations to all the Lord's hopeful elect scattered abroad, teaching His word in sincerity and truth. Shalom. All right, this is Daniel chapter 7, and this is heavy on my spirit. Today after camp, the apostles and elders, Elder Apostle Tahar, he was asking brothers frequent questions about this subject, about Daniel's 7, which was his dream, which is prophecy. And I learned a valuable lesson today because it's very important to to brush up on these breakdowns. All right, these breakdowns are very important because one thing the apostle says all the time is that in order to understand prophecy, you have to know history. And clearly, with Daniel's dream, you have to know some history. You have to know that timeline. All right. And as the apostle was speaking, a few things were coming to mind. And even afterward, I'm meditating and thinking upon things that were said. I thought to myself and even said, how do you even tell the time in which you're living in if you don't know history, or if you don't know prophecy? As the scriptures is said in 2nd Esdras 9, measure the time diligently in itself. How do you tell what time you're living in if you don't know prophecy? And as he says, if you don't know prophecy, how can you understand, in order to understand prophecy, how you have to know history, so all of that links together, you know, which is a beautiful thing to have, which is the understanding, you know, understanding of the history, understanding the prophecies, and understanding the time in which we're living in. Staying focused, the water Yahawah Yahawashi for the apostles and for keeping brothers sharp, keeping brothers stewards unto Yahawah Yahawashi. All right. So let me get a quick precept. 2nd Esdras 9:1. He answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest parts of the signs pass, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world in which he made. So the key point in there is measuring thou the time diligently in itself. Okay. So in order to do that, you have to know prophecy. And to know prophecy, you have to know history. So Daniel 7, I want to touch on a few verses of this chapter because it's important to go over these breakdowns, because in parables or dark sayings and what the prophets were actually saying, you have to know the particulars, what that mean. What is the concept of that verse? What is he talking about? All right. And it gets into certain generals, rulers, empires. These things are important. Now, this is Daniel 7:1. In the first year of Belshazzar, king of Babylon, Daniel had a dream and a vision of his head upon his bed. It says, then he wrote the dream and told the sum of the matters. Daniel spake and said, I saw in my vision by night, and behold, four winds of the heavens strove upon the great sea. Now, these winds represents the north, east, south, and west. Now, verse 3, the four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. All right, now, what is the question should be, what is these four great beasts? These four great beasts are empires. All right, wicked empires that ruled over us Israelites. Now it says, the four great beasts came up from the sea, diverse one from another. All right, so they're going to be different in this way. Now, verse 4, the first was like a lion and had eagle wings. I beheld till the wings thereof were plucked, and it was lifted up from the earth and made stand upon the feet as a man, and a man's heart was given to it. All right, so when it says like a lion and had eagle wings, this is talking about the Assyrian Empire, which predates the Babylonian Empire. All right, predates Babylon Empire. All right, so in verse 5, it says, and behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in its mouth of it between the teeth of it, And they said thus unto it, arise, devour much flesh. Now, it says a bear. Now, this second beast, like a bear, was the Medo-Persian Empire. And why? When it says the three ribs in its mouth, it represents the concourse in which the Medo-Persian Empire took course. All right, it took over. Excuse me. It was a takeover concourse. It took over Babylon, Lydia, and Egypt. So let me read that one more time. It says, and behold, another beast, a second, like to a bear, and it raised up itself on one side, and it had three ribs in its mouth of it between the teeth of it. And they said thus unto it, arise and devour much flesh. All right. And who it devoured? Babylon, Lydia, and Egypt. Now it says verse 6, and after this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it. Now this leopard represents, before I read that, the king who ruled over the Medo-Persian Empire was King Cyrus the Second. All right. So now back in 6, it says, and lo, like a leopard, this leopard represents who? Alexander the Great, or Alexander the Creep. Okay. The Greek rulership. All right. And even also, Alexander was known for wearing leopard skin. All right. It says, which had upon his back 4 wings of the fowl. And it says, and the beast had also 4 heads, and dominions was given to it. Now, what this represents, the 4 wings and the 4 heads, is Seleucus Empire, Platonia Empire, Cassandra Empire, and Lycomachus Empire. All right. Now, this is where we at, verse 7. It says, after this I saw in the night vision, and behold, a 4th beast, dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. All right. And this 4th beast represents the pagan Roman Empire, modern day Roman Empire, okay, which today you call America. All right. But this is the pagan Roman Empire, the 4th beast. And it said dreadful and terrible and strong exceedingly. And it had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it. And it had 10 horns. All right. And Salakia. All right, and these 10 horns represents, okay, the Common Market or European Economic Community, the EEC, established in 1958. Today is the EEC is known as the EU, the European Union. All right. That is your modern day 10 horns. All right. Which is Belgium, Denmark, France, Italy. All right. Netherlands, Luxembourg, Greece, Spain. All right. England and Ireland, West Germany. All right. NATO. Okay. Which is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. All right. That are your modern day 10 horns, man. So let me read again. It says, and it was diverse from all beasts, and there were before it, and it had 10 horns. All right. Now this is verse 8. It says, and I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn, before whom there was 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. Now this little horn is what? America. Okay. America, which came out of Great Britain. All right. Slovakia, let me see something. It says, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. Before them they were three of the first horns plucked up by the roots. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of a man, and a mouth speaking great things. All right, so these three little horns, okay, is Great Britain, all right, which is the independent war, French and America war, Spanish and American war. All right, 3 out of the 10 horns. All right, so now I'm gonna jump to 17. It says, these great beasts which are 4 and 4 kings which shall arise out of the earth. Now this represents 4 kings is the Babylonians, Persians, Greeks, pagan Rome. All right, which modern day Rome, EU, NATO, America. All right, so verse 18, it says, but the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever. Verse 19, then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all the other, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. All right, so the fourth beast is the pagan Roman and the ending of the modern day Rome. All right, EU, NATO, America, man. All right, so then I would know the truth of the fourth beast, which was diverse from all others, exceedingly dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet. Verse 20, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more snout than his fellows. Now the 3 fell is Great Britain, France, and Spain. A mouth that speak very great things is America. All right. So just wanted to touch on this. This is brief, but wanted to meditate on this chapter because of today earlier. Like I said in the beginning of the video, these breakdowns is something to continue, to keep constantly studying and getting into the history, just to know prophecy, So I hope this was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahawah, Yahawashi, BaHaSham, Qadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of GreatMillStone. Salutations to all the Lord's hopeful elect. Shalom.